A customized, personalized message for the ENTJ equestrian coming right up. Hello my crazies, Reagan from Horse Crazy Mama here to help you grow and develop as an equestrian by learning about yourself and your horse. If that sounds like something that you would like to do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. The ENTJ is a very interesting personality. I actually have a friend who's an ENTJ. He's fun. Very bold personality, very opinionated, and just fun to be around. Having the possibility of an ENTJ being an equestrian definitely intrigues me. But what exactly makes an ENTJ tick? Let's take a look. Of course, the E in ENTJ stands for extrovert. Extrovert means that you take in information from outside of yourself rather than inside of yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be around people 24/7 or that you do not appreciate alone time. But with this skill, it can definitely be a huge advantage when you're horseback riding, especially because you are more aware of your surroundings. You might prefer to go riding with a group of friends, which is absolutely wonderful. Just, don't let your friends distract you from your horse. Can be a little not so great, especially if your horse thinks that it can get away with things that it can't usually get away with. Be aware and pay attention to that. The N in ENTJ stands for intuitive. Intuitive means that you go with your gut or with your instincts or with your intuition, because hence the intuitive word. So having that kind of strength and that kind of ability and that kind of tendency can definitely be wonderful for your horse, especially as they are emotionally intelligent animals. And going with your intuition and kind of telling what's going on, even when you're purchasing a horse, intuitives have this ability to tell when that horse is going to click. Like, it's kind of like a premonition almost, not quite, woo-woo kind of thing, but it's just more of a gut instinct than anything. But we can usually tell when we see our next horse like that. And the truth is no different from an ENTJ. Any kind of pet or any kind of person that comes into their life, you just know that that person is going to make some kind of impact on you. So pay attention to that intuition, pay attention to your gut feelings, and make sure that you're listening to that sixth sense, so to speak. But don't let it distract you also from paying attention to the here and now. Paying attention to the details and making sure that the horse isn't injured or struggling in some way, shape, or form. Intuitives tend to get a little bit space brain, so making sure that you are in the present and in the here and now will definitely help you balance that out and cover any mistakes that you may or may not make. The T in ENTJ stands for thinking, which means you're a little bit more on the logical side of things. You definitely appreciate having strategies or having logistics put into place, or like the more left-brained, so to speak, kind of aspects of horseback riding. Be sure to nurture that, because having that logical side is a huge help. It helps you kind of detach from the emotional aspect, especially in emergencies, and be able to have a cool and calm, collected head while you're making these big decisions when something goes wrong. The J part in ENTJ means that you're a judger. And again, judger does not mean that you're judging everybody else. A judger means that you are organized, that you are prepared, that you plan ahead, and it's absolutely fantastic. You probably prefer to have matchy-matchy kind of tack. Your horse definitely matches your personality, and you like to get things done ahead of time. You also need to realize, however, that horses are unpredictable animals. So having some semblance of being able to adapt to a situation that you didn't foresee. I know it's unheard of with an ENTJ, but having that ability and putting it into place can be a huge benefit as you're going through your riding. Just be aware to take the time that you need if something goes not according to plans, or if your plans get totally trashed, whatever happens, take the time that you need to recuperate, because I know it can be extremely stressful. I cannot reiterate this enough, you guys. I've done a lot of videos now saying this, but seriously, there's no such thing as a perfect pairing between horse and rider. It is a relationship that you build, that you grow, that you develop, that you work at. That being said, here's how the ENTJ might react to the 4 Horsenalities. Now, with the ENTJ and the left brain extroverted horse might be a very interesting pairing, especially since with the ENTJ, they would probably be a left brain extroverted horse if they were a horse. You might find some things that the horse does that kind of mirrors your own personality that you don't like. So please be aware of that. It's just a tendency. It's like having a kid when they'll do something and you're like, oh, I don't like that, and then you'll do the exact same thing 5 minutes later. So pay attention and don't take it out on the horse if you're just frustrated with yourself. Now with the ENTJ and left brain introverted horse, this is an interesting pairing too. The ENTJ might be a little frustrated at the low energy of the left brain introverted horse, as well as their intense stubbornness. So remember to exercise patience, and sometimes the horse is just not going to listen to you. Don't be afraid to use treats, use positive reinforcement, I should say. On this kind of horse, it might work really, really well, but don't spoil them either. I know you have a tendency to spoil your pets. Just train them, and you guys will make an excellent pairing. Now with the ENTJ and the right brain extroverted horse, this might be a little interesting, especially as the right brain extroverted horse needs a safe place, and the ENTJ might be a little more on the abrasive side. So, pay attention to that and make sure that the horse feels safe around you, and that when you do goof around with the horse, which I know you will, make sure that the horse still feels safe and that they know that you're goofing around and that you're not just taunting them. Now with the ENTJ and the right brain introverted horse, this is going to require a lot of patience from you. The right brain introverted horse is going to have a lot more whoa than go, so they won't go as fast as you probably want them to. But that's okay. Patience and kind of working with their more willing attitude is really going to help you out. Just also make sure that they know that you're their safe place and that you're their rock, so to speak. And you guys will make an excellent pair. You can go really far. So that was the video for the ENTJ. I hope you guys found it helpful and useful and informative. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single video in this series. Keep the crazy and horse crazy, y'all. See you next time.